Toddy, gosh almighty, who the hell are we?
Whoa. Stand by. We're going to do a
damn.
lot of just take it. He's got his shirt. He's got, okay, all right. We knew that was.
I bought a hat a couple
I
weeks
even
ago.
texted you during the game when they had the big thing, the fantastic thing. Well, you don't ever reply to my stuff, so you wouldn't know that. I did too. I said
did during the Braves game. Not the.
Well, yeah, that's right. Whatever it was. Anyway, I texted you. Anyway, Pete Davis, sidekick producer and sports rec on Tour Extraordinaire, and the mechanical mangler flounder at the controls at El Condo Flounder. Here on Monday, this is podcast number 446 on the 27th of June, 2022, of course. And we got a billion things to talk about. First of all, we'll talk about your sports-filled weekend. In fact, I've got a bunch of sports things I want to talk about. Right. I assume your Holy Crap at Sports, the best podcast sports guest, is going to be later, or did you do it?
I woke up this morning and did it.
Well,
the
I'll
people
bet you
needed to hear.
They wanted to hear your take on a great ball game. And I'll tell you, I watched the whole. In fact, I took, I'll tell you, we're going to talk about the abortion case in the Supreme Court, and the one came down today with a coach praying. I mean, we'll do all the news stuff. We'll talk about the gun things. We'll talk about politics. Arizona staged an insurrection. Democrats in Arizona actually staged an insurrection to their capital. We'll talk about everything from Brad Pitt to an update on our police doggy. Wait to hear what happened with an airline, a friend of mine, on how woke a certain airline's going now. Also, remember No More Tears shampoo. I found out the hard way why not all shampoos are No More Tears shampoo.
I know that too.
My God, I couldn't freaking. I thought they all had taken out the alcohol. Anyway, we'll talk about it. Also, was it you? They're talking about. It's going around. Was it either USA Today or the Washington Post editor or reporter got fired for passing along the joke that said every woman is bi. It's either bipolar or bisexual. But then there was another one who said, incidentally, persons who can get pregnant are also called women. And they suspended him, and I think he quit.
Good.
Saying you gotta be kidding me. Oh, in fact, speaking of that, let me do this right now. I was going to do this later, but
they're insane. Call out their insanity.
They're unbelievable. And check this out. I won't even say whether it's a male or female. I have a friend. I have several friends at Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines. I just got this note 20 minutes ago. Thought you'd find this interesting, Kimmer. My airline has gone completely woke. Now we're wearing pronoun pins. For God's sake, I think it's time for me to retire. Here's what the notice said. Southwest Airlines introducing optional diversity, equity, and inclusion-focused wearables for employees. All employees wear these items. They are not required. The new wearables will include pronoun pins, your preferred gender pronouns such as he, him, she, her, or they, them. Cultural and heritage and pride wearables, and pins and T-shirts and lanyards. We know that self-expression is important to our employees, and allowing them to bring their best and whole selves to work is an important thing. Oh, my God.
So is it okay if I go by nouns?
You can announce
nouns.
Now, yeah, absolutely. You can go by anything you want.
Cock and balls.
Remember the.
I can just see the meeting that started this. Here,
yeah.
I need to come here, Rachel. I need to talk to you about your bling.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
They're insane. Insane.
What
Call them on it.
What are they doing?
I'm not flying Southwest.
I mean, it's just. You don't have to do what. There's no need for it. This is all made up. 10 years ago, or go to any other country in the world, and all of a sudden they say, well, I don't want to offend you by using the wrong pronoun. They're going to say, what are you talking about?
I know.
I mean, really?
Maybe
where did this all come from? This is all social media. This is on your phone. It grows by social media, people getting in, feeling they have to be part of it.
No, I think this is the real media doing this, pushing this.
I think it started with
colleges.
this, and the real media follows it by seeing what's on Twitter in the morning to figure out what they're going to cover. Either way, it's a mess. It's a two-pronged approach, and either way, we're screwed. The actual media and the social media, which surrounds everything. Anyway, I mean, this is Southwest Airlines has now got a policy that you can have pronoun pins.
Don't play along with it.
Oh, dear God.
If you're a passenger on there, call them what you want to call them.
It's just
the hell with them.
Just unbelievable. Well, by the way, while we mentioned this, I might as well get this out of the way. And again, we have news stuff, but we got a lot of more stuff to talk about than this.
Well, real quick, and I'm sure you'll talk about this later, but that's probably why 1 million people have switched parties this year.
1 million people changed their actual affiliation, and that doesn't include the people who are going to vote differently without actually signing up for it. But again, at least 1 million have said that's it, and they officially left the Democrat Party. Now, that's, a drop in the bucket nationwide, but still, it goes to show you that if you're willing to do it on the record, God knows how many are going to.
Well, it shows the momentum is there as well.
Well, they've been replaced by 1 million people coming over the border.
But that's the other thing. Oh, by the way, I got a great story on that that's making the rounds too about it's basically immigration amnesty. What they're pulling now in the administration of President Potato Head. This morning. I mentioned my daughter Jennifer's coming in town this week, and she's going to be on our podcast on Friday. And we're probably going to do a patriotic type show on Friday in light of the 4th of July, which we'll probably take off. That's Monday, right? We'll take off Monday. Isn't the 4th on a? I think it's a Monday. Anyway, we're taking off 4th of July holiday.
July 4th is Saturday.
Okay, well, so we're taking off.
Wait a minute, I'm looking at.
No, that's not
I'm sorry,
right.
I'm looking at July. I apologize.
Yeah, that's not right.
It's Friday.
Friday.
What?
4th of July is Friday?
I'm sorry, it's Monday. I was way off.
Yeah, okay.
You're so pretty.
Yeah, we'll just edit this.
You're
You
so
have such
pretty.
nice hair.
Numbers look so confusing.
It'll be okay. Anyway, Jennifer's coming to town. It reminded me that one of the things, when I found out last week that Jennifer listens to this podcast, which I think is horrifying. Anyway, and the reason I found out was because she sent me a bunch of things when I was complaining I couldn't find my Coffee Mate little containers, and I couldn't find. I tried to find some men's shampoo. I couldn't even find Head and Shoulders. So she sent me paper bowls and plates and a whole 500 things of Coffee Mate and Head and Shoulders shampoo. So and this morning in the shower, and by the way, I took off my ear rockets barely in time because you're not supposed to take a shower with them on. And if you do, they're like $8,000 or something. Anyway. So I said, there's Jennifer's Head and Shoulders shampoo. I think I'll use this morning. And I started to put it on, and I had a flashback, and I thought to myself, remember the days as a child, or in my case when you have children, but in my case as a child, bath nights in every American home used to be a nightmare. Right. Because shampoos were so alkaline, and you remember the little rings you put around your head? Did you have those? It was a plastic, looked like a halo, it looked like a rings around Saturn made out of plastic, with an expandable head thing that would fit every head size. And you put it on, you put it on just above the eyeballs, under the hairline, and it's like a little circular thing, and it's supposed to block the shampoo from getting in your eyes. That's so important. Every home had them.
No, they didn't.
Up until a certain age, they did. Well, maybe your parents didn't care whether you burned your eyes.
Mine eyes.
Good, mine eyes. Anyway, they never worked. I mean, it really didn't work.
Of course not.
And kids would scream, and you'd say, close your. It was a nightmare. Every shampoo night was a nightmare. Take my word for it. And then Johnson & Johnson baby shampoo. No more tears. That was the slogan. Johnson & Johnson baby. Well, of course, adults all started using it because who wants to burn your eyes? Right. I mean, shampoo, what's the difference? Well, so I'm in the shower this morning. I had this weird, because I haven't used Head and Shoulders in years. I mean, it was kind of a flashback. And I said, God, I remember when I was a kid and they came out with a Johnson & Johnson baby shampoo, which may be, if you were of a certain age, that is one of the greatest inventions of mankind. I mean, it's like the wheel. I mean, to have the kids no more screaming about you know what I mean? Or a 3-year-old trying to give them a shampoo in your bath time. Anyway, so this morning I've got the shampoo on my head, and I said, I always close my eyes and try to put my head back, and I said, you don't even have to do that anymore. So I just started washing my hair. I mean, what's left? I mean, the top of my head, my scalp, and everything. And then I go by, I grab my soap and I get ready, and I was going,
I'd pay good money for a video of that.
And I got his soap in my right eye. I'm screaming. And I said, wait a minute. I thought because of Johnson & Johnson, they all took it out of there.
It's a dandruff-killing shampoo. How do you think it kills the dandruff?
I don't know. What do I know?
It comes at them with little machine guns.
Well, anyway, so I'm, my eye still hurts. And I'm thinking, I thought they all changed after that.
2 weeks ago, I buy Trader Joe's, which is great shampoo.
Trader Joe's shampoo?
Trader Joe's shampoo. So I pop it up. It has that little thing at the top where you pop it.
Yeah.
Right into the left eye.
Oh, no.
It took an ice pick.
Oh, I'll bet.
Heated it and jabbed me in the eye.
Man.
It was the worst I've ever felt.
Could you flush it out with water?
You tried.
Yeah.
I hurt for 2 days.
I'll
I
bet.
couldn't put contacts in for 2 days. It still burnt.
Oh, man.
That's as bad as it is ever.
That's gotta
So I look
suck.
on the back. What the hell's in this thing? 2 different type of salt.
Really?
Just pure salt.
Oh my. Well, again, don't trust your shampoo. If there's any question about it.
I just started using my Paul Mitchell I stole from the La Quinta in Oxford.
Oh, well,
And
I take
that's good.
I take all that stuff.
Oh,
If I'm at a hotel, when I used to go see the kids, I'd go to either the Hyatt or at Hilton because that's really all there was around. They didn't have any Motel 6s down in fancy schmancy resort Florida areas. So I'd take all the shampoo, all the conditioner, just take it all. And so we always have a travel kit, and it's just handy, and they don't care. In fact, they throw it away if you don't use it.
When I traveled with the Falcons for 5 years, at the end of that, I didn't buy shampoo for a decade.
I'll bet you didn't. Let's see. One quick newsy thing before we get on to other stuff. The Supreme Court did rule today in favor of the coach who got suspended and eventually fired, had to quit or was fired his football job because after the game, he went to the field and started to pray. Some kids joined him, and then it kind of became a habit. The school said, you're not allowed to do that on school property. He said, oh, yeah, and they sued, or they fired him. He sued, or he suspended whatever he sued, and he won. And the Supreme Court basically says you don't have to hide your religion. If it's not part of the school curriculum, it's your own personal praying, you don't have to hide it. You're allowed to pray in public. And he was not doing anything on the school. Anyway, so he won. And that's two. I mean, that's two in a row.
Three, the gun thing.
And the gun thing, too. But, I mean, two religious, basically human, personal things, and then the gun thing. So that's three in a row. And I guess all 6-3, too, aren't they? All 6-3 decisions. Anyway, so that, that's good to see. And, of course, the libs.
I'd ask him to look it up, but he don't even know where July 4th is.
And the Dems are going nuts. I mean, they're calling for violence and doxing people. And Ocasio Bangbangio Stupidio is calling for impeachment of the Supreme Court members for lying under oath or something. I mean, my God, what is the matter with these people? And you know what? And by the way, I'm beginning to think that this may not end up being a clincher for the Democrats to continue being in power this fall. I don't think this is going to, I don't think these two things are going to get.
No, I mean, 41% think it's inflation.
Yeah.
Only 10% think it's abortion.
As Hector pointed out, did you read his post this morning?
And by the way, Hector is watching right now. Hello,
Hector. Excellent.
It's heartbreaking. This reminds me
I
when
know,
I was a poor
know.
kid
Yeah.
in the 1980s. He got to the pump and got just $5 just to get to somewhere.
Hector saw a guy put 1 gallon of gas in the car because that's all the money he had.
Yeah, I remember those days.
If I'd seen it, I said, here, I'd give him $5 or something, or 20 if I had 10 on me or whatever. I mean, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah,
I mean, that's really heartbreaking.
If someone did that to you when you were, dirt poor or something like that, pass it on,
Wow. I mean, that's just, but who'd have thought, who'd have thought that would be a thing?
2 years ago.
Yeah. Jesus. Anyway.
Remember, we were energy independent. We were exporting. Gas was around, $1.50, something like that?
Yeah.
$1.90?
Yeah. Well,
It was $25 a barrel.
This doesn't have to be happening.
Yeah.
We did this to ourselves.
Yeah, it's not Putin. I mean, it's nonsense. One more reaction thing. Steaky Big Fat Loser Abraham was on a Sunday show on Fox, and Martha McCallum,
She was on all of them at the same time.
Yeah, Martha, I think it was Martha, tried to get her to admit. Martha's one question was, well, we understand you're very, very concerned about the lives of women. When were you going to be concerned about the lives of babies? And of course she went, oh, well, the Supreme Court, she didn't answer. And then Martha tried to get her to say, was saying, so you're in favor now of abortion up to 9 months, right? And she said, well, that's not what I said. What I said was this is a medical decision. So again, she didn't. She's still skating on it. And I'm telling you, Kemp, you better freaking nail her and make sure get her to say one way or the other. This is real important. And she got caught, skirting the issue. But you better not let her get away with it on the debate.
If anyone is still waiting for the debate to make up their minds,
I
what
know.
kind of idiot are you?
I know, but he's got to embarrass her. I mean, he's got to show that she's a big.
Can't be the nasty white guy.
No, but he's
showing
got
how stupid she
he's
is.
got to outsmart her by being a gentleman. He's got to still be the governor,
But not
and
take any
respectful.
crap.
Right, he's got to be respectful in the governor. But just like he had a gun in his original commercial, that's
With a
pretty
backbone.
strong, macho. He's got to show he's still a man. He's not taking her crap, but he can be polite and gentlemanly and still tell her she's full of crap. Anyway.
Just walk over and give her a Sean Connery.
Slam her across the face. By the way, if you ever get to see it, I saved this 4-minute segment on my DVR in Blazing Saddles. when Harvey Korman is coming into where the black sheriff, Bart, the sheriff, is with Lily Langtree. And she's in her little sequined outfit. She's seduced him, and she's in his bedroom or whatever. And what's his name? I just said his name. I forgot his name.
Bart?
No, the other one.
Harvey Korman.
Harvey Korman comes in, and and she lets him in, and he's saying, "How's it going? How's it going?" And she says, "He's too much man for you. He's a man. You're nothing. He's wonderful. He's fantastic. He's a schnoofendam, and he's a freak." And she goes on and on. He walks up there and he slaps her in the face. And I'm sorry, it's the funniest scene you've ever seen. You're not mad enough for him. Wham! I'm sorry, I know that's real wrong.
I'll make sure to put this in the weekend show this weekend.
I know it's a bad thing to say. In fact, I'm going to send it to you, even though my screen gets blue when I. You know what I'm talking about, right? You know this scene? Yeah. Anyway. Oh, speaking of chicks, happened to me yesterday. As you know, I have made. I've made an effort lately to try to be a little more calm. I've tried not to get upset at tailgaters. After I got out of the car in the last one, I went up to them. That's not a bad thing. I'm trying not to get upset at tailgaters. I'm trying not to get upset at things. I'm trying to really just
chill.
Just kind of relax because I'm putting way too much stuff in my head. I mean, my head's just a mess. So I'm trying to be just as going along, hoping for a good future, doing the right thing. Okay. So yesterday, I'm at Publix, and I'm in the 10 items or less line. And the lady in front of me has at least 15.
That's over the limit.
Well, that's really,
If
if you have 11 or 12.
Dozen.
Yeah, but you got 15 or 16, and so I looked at her, and I looked at, and she saw me standing there, and I was just standing there, but she knew I was standing there looking at her as she was pulling it out of the basket. I love when they do this. I love when they go, like they pretend like, I really don't know how many are in here. And then they try to sort of hide two things together in front of the basket so you can't count while they're pulling them out of the basket. And and then it's like they're looking around and they're going, I guess I'm all set. And then they're just, it just makes me so freaking angry that they're pretending like they didn't know that they're way over the limit and being rude for people who actually are in line. And I let it go. Didn't say a word. Didn't look at her. Wasn't that? It's a step. It's a step, and I say it because I feel better about it. But ladies, we know you're cheating. You can't just be cute and go, I didn't know I had 14 in there. We know it
because they know they can get away with it.
Yeah,
guys don't do that.
No, you can't do that. In fact, I let yesterday also. I had like 7 things in my basket, and there was a lady who came up behind me and only had one thing, and I said, "Here, you go ahead." And it would have taken me 30 seconds, but I still, I'm trying to be as polite as I can.
Did she have a nice butt?
She had a great. No, I have no idea. Anyway, so that's a scoop. Okay, God, we haven't even talked about anything yet. Oh, and I want you to do the farmhouse ad here in a second because I want to tell you about a farmhouse ad coming up here in a second. First of all, for the record, this is National PTSD Awareness Day.
It's also National
I don't even know
Pineapple
what
Day.
that means. What's that?
It's also National Pineapple Day.
Is it?
Yeah.
National Pineapple Day.
Well.
I'll be darned. I love sweet pineapple. How come pineapple can be sour? Have you ever had sour pine? I hate sour.
I've never been a pineapple fan.
Pineapple is sour and sweet at the same time.
Yeah, but sometimes it's so sour I'm just not enjoying it.
What was that? You don't like pineapple?
Not a big pineapple fan.
What the?
Really? You don't like it at all?
I mean, I
wrong
can
with
eat
you?
it. It's just it doesn't hit my hot
You ever
button.
drink pineapple juice for breakfast? Like
It's very thirst quenching, actually. Pineapple juice.
Pineapple's my favorite fruit now, but there's every
Watermelon.
year for a week or two at Trader Joe's they
Yeah.
get something called very berry cherries. Have you ever seen these things? I thought.
Oh, I saw your picture of
I
them.
forgot to bring them in. I was going
I
to bring
saw
you
your
guys a couple.
picture.
They taste.
Are they tomatoes or cherries?
No, they're cherry. It's a new fruit. They've combined cherry and plums.
Ooh, I'll bet that's good.
It has almost a consistency of an apple when you bite. It's like a little apple, but it tastes like the sweetest, tartest plum that you ever had.
I forgot about plums.
Because you get bad plums all the time.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
I hate sour plums. That really makes me
These
mad.
are perfect, and they're only there for a week or two
Cherry
every
berry,
year.
what is it?
They're called they're called berry cherries.
At Trader
No,
Joe's?
no, they're called cherry berries. Sorry, cherry berries, but they're called, the brand is Very Berry Cherry, all double R's.
Trader Vic's, Trader
Trader
Joe's?
Joe's.
Trader Joe's.
And they're there now, so
Yeah.
you better go now.
Well,
'cause
they'll be gone tomorrow.
I'm telling you, people. I mean, I look forward to it every year when it comes in.
Cool. Do your Eric thing, and I want to tell a story that goes in line with Eric. In fact, I will start off by saying I contacted Eric the other day. I sent him a picture that I asked him to put on a T-shirt for me, and he said no. And he said, sure, you want a gray one or a white one or whatever. And I said, oh yeah, in fact, why don't you pick for me, because you do this all the time and you know the best. That's what they do. And I sent him one picture, and he's going to make one T-shirt. You don't need to order 100.
And that's farmhouseprintingco.com right here in Sonoya, Georgia. They have laser engraving, did you know? They will print all kinds of shirts, hats, signs, promotional items, no minimum order, no setup fees. They do all the Kimmer Show T-shirts. They do Shannon Burke shirts, the Holy Crap It's Sports shirts, the Drank Up Shriner shirts, the Horsey shirts, anything you have. And is it this week? Just this week?
Yeah.
Between now and July 4th.
Between now and July 4th.
If you order a Kimmer merchandise,
anything.
they will give
if you order anything from Farmhouse Printing Co. I mean,
anything?
I'm telling them the Kimmer sent you. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I guess any Kimmer thing. Yeah, any Kimmer thing this week.
Okay. Well, you get a free Kimmer koozie, a patriotic koozie for July 4th. Isn't that cool?
I love it.
Just
and
what
again,
you
that's
need
all
for the
this week.
holiday.
Yeah.
And the reason I mentioned I wanted to say something, I got a very nice message from a lady who said, how can I order a T-shirt, like a Horsey T-shirt? She didn't know what to do, so I gave her the address to farmhouseprintingco.com. And she said in her note, I don't really do a lot of social media. I'm kind of technologically challenged, so I hope you can make this simple or something. So I gave her the address, and then I also gave her the phone number, and I said, if you have a problem doing something, believe me, just call, ask for Eric, or anybody there will take care of you. Tell them you're not sure how to do this, or if you have a problem linking up, just call them, and I gave her the phone number. They're very nice about it. So anyway, you'll get what you want. And again, you can order just one. You don't have to do a lot of things. I just got another note from, I don't know if you heard that ding a second ago, from that person, I didn't mention male or female, whoever it is, and what the job is at Southwest Airlines. This person wrote in to say, a spouse is flying for a corporate company now. They fly celebrities and politicians. One of their regulars is Hillary Rodham P. Stinky Fart Cabbage. I added the name. And the pilot said if he gets her, he might have to take one for the team.
What, you going to do her?
I don't know. But it's so funny that this person would say that.
I can't believe that Hillary Clinton flies Southwest.
No, I can't.
I'm not knocking Southwest.
He's in a private company now.
Oh,
This
okay.
is a former pilot, and now he's in a
I was
private.
about to say, that's a
she's
little
not
too plebeian for her.
And by the way, apparently she said, she just over the weekend again said, it's possible that she may want to run, but she probably won't. But before she said she's not running. She's too old. Now she's hinting that, well, I suppose it's possible, but I don't think it's going to happen.
She wants them to throw
they want her,
the vote to her at the convention.
At
the convention.
Oh, my God. All right, hold on. We got.
Well, think about it. They can't run him again. They can't run Kamala.
Well,
they put Buttigieg up there. He's an idiot. So what? And hasn't done anything.
Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders are honestly the left.
Seriously,
the liberal left and the young people are going to want Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. And this could be that's what happened last time when that South Carolina racist, that Black Calhoun, is it? I think
Clyburn.
Biggest liar, racist divider in America in the freaking Senate, and he made the deal to get Joe Biden because Biden was losing. He wasn't winning primaries, and he made the deal to get Biden the nomination. And Bernie and Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas said, "All right, we'll back off," and that's how we got him, because they wanted Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders would have won if they'd allowed the vote. Anyway, we'll talk more about politics in a second. Couple things. I got another message from U-Haul. Your outstanding balance for your turnpike in Florida. I said, oh, geez, come on. They had sent me a message earlier. I went to the turnpike in Florida when I went down to get my stuff. And yeah, okay. And so I got a bill, and the U-Haul people said, we will, 8 days after you came back, we will endeavor to run this through your credit card again, your friend U-Haul. Well, apparently they tried to run it through and it didn't run through again, so they sent me another message. So here, and I've been avoiding this. Here's how people like me think. Here's why it's important, why I wanted to go out of my way for that nice lady who wanted the T-shirt to explain to her, here's how you can get things done. Because we don't like stuff like this.
Nope.
I didn't want to go into my computer to try to get a billing thing and a statement and fill out all the forms and stuff on my computer to pay, it was for $48.80. And I was avoiding it. I didn't want to have to do it because I knew something would go wrong. I have no confidence at all in trying to do computer technology, bill paying. It's just, you know what I mean? That's just where my head is. I avoided. Finally, Sunday afternoon, I sat down and I did it. And it worked, and they took it. Now I'm hoping that I don't get hacked or somebody's stole it, but I hated it. And I was avoiding it. And finally, like my grandmother used to say, if you've got something you don't want to do it and get it over with.
What did we just do during my whole dentist thing? That I put it off, put off, and then when I finally did it, I had to worry the whole time when I could have just done it and got it over with and move on.
Do it and get it over with. My Nana, my mother's mother, would say that, and it was, and she was right. That's why cliches are real, because they're real. They work. And
we discussed it before. You got something bad you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Do it.
So you can either not do it and worry about it the whole time, and at some point do it, or just do it and not worry about it the whole time.
Either way, again, it's wasted energy. Either way, you either do it or you don't. And in the meantime, it depends on how you're dealing with it, and you don't need to if you don't have to. Speaking of things you don't have to, I don't know. They're so. I think once again all week for 4th of July in Alpharetta, they're having the Taste of Steel Plate in the Road Fest. Jeez. Oh my God. I mean, they're everywhere. And of course, in a 45-mile-an-hour zone, all of a sudden you got steel plates ahead of you, so you got to slow down to about 7. And then people buy, it's a freaking nightmare, and they're all over the place. And since last week, I've had a slow leak in my left rear tire. This is about number 6 or 7. How many times have I talked about a slow leak in my tires?
Too many times.
At least a half a dozen. Well, this has been going on. So every morning, it's like 25 pounds, and I fill it up to 34, and then I get here, and I'll go home. It'll be fine. I tried to go in twice to the guys who take care of me at Pep Boys. And they've done like 6 of my tires. It's unbelievable. And the guy said, and I said, I know you guys, they had cars everywhere. And I said, I know you guys are backed up. I said, I got a slow leak. And he said, man, I hate to tell you. He said, there's no way I can get, I said, can I make an appointment? So now I make an appointment for tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock to get my tire fixed. That's how many flat tires there are in Alpharetta from people just driving around. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, really, it's got to be 6 for me.
Is Pep Boys located in Alpharetta?
Yeah. I don't think they're doing it. But again, and you have to drive through construction to get into their parking lot right there on South Main, on where the dealership. I mean, it's unbelievable. Anyway, so
they have tech that they put on your tire. It's a time-release nail.
And
it waits about a month.
I mean, it's a damn. I mean, really, if you follow the podcast, this is really probably the 6th one.
What kind of tires are you using?
Michelin.
That doesn't happen with Michelin.
No, but the good news is they're so good that it's not gone flat. It only loses like 6 pounds. But I always fill it up. In fact, I have in my trunk, I have a battery operator that plugs into my cigarette lighter, a tire pump thing. To pump up the air, it plugs in the cigarette lighter, and I keep it there for this reason. And every day I pump it up, and it's fine. So, I mean, I can drive on it, and it's a great tire. In fact, I've got almost 12,000 miles, and they're still usable, which for a tire for that car with that much torque, because I think every other car I've had like this, tires last around 7,000 miles. And then they go bald because there's so much torque on them. Even if you don't speed, they're just the torque is starting off. Okay, sorry. We're getting rich. We're going in the right direction again.
Oh, now what?
I got a message from the fine folks at 106.3 and the broadcasting company. And as you know, with our link to 106.3, and thekimmershow.net, which is where you should go to get everything. We are getting a stipend for a monthly fee for being linked with their podcast park situation. Okay, I shall recall for you now. Back in March, our first monthly thing. Back in March, we got a total of $53.24, or $17.74 a piece. $17.74 a piece. In April, we were going the wrong direction. In April, we went from 53.24 to 49.14, or a total of 16.38 apiece. So we lost $1.40. Last month, my friends, the month of May, we brought in $80.99, or $26.99 a piece, baby. Ta-da-ba-da. I don't have it for you yet. I haven't got my check yet, but when I get the check,
I
I'll
tell you
give
what,
it
we're
up.
going places.
Yeah, you
mail.
got shit to do.
Okay, you laugh. That's double. We doubled in 1 month.
There you go. That's close. So, I mean, we're going in the right direction. But again, and we're very serious about this. If you will go to thekimmershow.net, and when you do, please look for the YouTube glippity-glop. Hit the glippity-glop on YouTube, and where it says subscribe.
And
hit
when he
that.
says glippity-glop, he is referring to subscribe.
Subscribe,
There
right?
is
Where
a
it says
subscribe
subscribe,
button.
push your finger on that word, and you will be subscribing to YouTube. But again, there's no money, it's free, and you don't ever have to do it again. But if you do it once for us, we hopefully get thousands who listen and only 100
many we
subscribe.
We are at 500.
Oh, see, we need
broke
thousands.
500.
We need okay.
So-
Please, if you're
So
listening
real quick.
Yeah.
So if you just keep telling your friends and tell folks to go to YouTube and subscribe,
Yeah.
we're heading in the right direction.
Right.
4 days ago, we had a couple hundred. We're
Right.
at 500, so we're growing in the
Absolutely.
right direction. And just head to thekimmershow.net for anything Kimmer related.
Right. You can listen to the radio, our stuff there, the podcast. You can get in contact with. There's an address there, or if they want to send us a check and all that kind of stuff. And in fact, I just sent out some thank you notes this morning. I put them in the mail this morning. Anyway, boys, so I think that's good news. We're going in the right place. Also, an update on my ear rockets, if you don't mind. We have new stuff. I don't feel like talking about all the news right now, but I got a whole crap load of stuff. My ear rockets, I refuse to say hearing aids. Ear rockets. I discovered, I forgot to mention this, when the phone rings, if you call me, in fact, you want to call me and see what, I'll show you what happens. If you call me,
I can think of nothing better I would like to do at this
can
moment.
Flounder, would you look at the screen? Can they, if I hold my
you.
phone up here, can they see that?
Right now.
All right, it's going to ring. Oh, wait, it didn't do it. Let me see. Oh, you know what? I've got it. Well, wait a minute now. That's not
Oh,
right.
good Lord.
What the hell? Oh, it didn't do it.
Answer the phone, Dick.
It didn't. Well, for some reason, it didn't do it with you. But when the phone rings, sorry, that was a bad example. I should have planned it. When my phone rings, it gives me 3 choices.
Oh.
There are 3 bars that show up on the screen of my phone because I have an app for my ear rockets, and the lines say phone, speaker, or a hearing device.
Okay.
And so I can pick if I want to actually talk in the phone in the earpiece, or I can put it on speaker, or before I even answer, I can have it go directly to my ears
Amazing.
and not in the phone.
Amazing. The world we live in.
I'm
is
just saying.
Amazing. Be on the moon one of these days.
Might have a black
You just
president one
watch.
day too.
You
know?
just watch.
Anyway, I thought that was kind of funny. Also, to let you boys know, not that this is terribly important, I actually did spur of the moment late Sunday afternoon. I went to hit balls, and man, I am golf balls, and I am so excited about the possibility because I did a couple things. My golf muscles are gone. I mean, I have my back was killing me. It still hurts from leaning over and stuff. So I'm definitely not in golf muscle shape. But I came up with and remembered 3 or 4 swing things, and I'm hitting it as good as I ever have. Anyway, maybe not that, but I can't believe I'm so excited to go try to play again, see if I can shoot my
So
age.
you should go hit. So there should be a couple days a week you should go hit, and a couple days a week you go to the farm.
Well, the only time I can go hit balls at River Pines is Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, and I can't really do it Friday because we have the podcast. But I go. So if I can go Saturday or Sunday afternoon for an hour or something,
All right,
I can
we're
do
getting
that.
in the weeds here a little bit.
What's that?
You don't really have to tell everyone your schedule about when you go hit
I'm
balls.
sorry. I'm sorry. Edit this all out. Edit this all
I mean,
out.
the thing is, go hit in the morning.
Yeah. Well, no, I can't. I don't have. I can't. I devote everything to the podcast from 6 a.m. to when we get done.
Really?
Yeah. I don't leave the house. I don't go to the store. It's all podcast.
Well, that hard work is going to show up one day.
I doubt it. But the reason I mention it is because I wore shorts.
Yay! Yay!
Damn near took a selfie, but I didn't. But I wore shorts, and I don't think I looked that bad after all. So anyway, just
So
for
it
the
gets
record.
under 100, and then you put the
And
shorts
then I put
on.
the shorts on.
Like 80 today or something.
Oh, I love it. Now I do have. Can I read you a message I got from just over the weekend here? Just a second.
Yes,
From Steve. I won't mention his last name, but. Again, you can get in contact with us a lot of different ways, including Steve said, "Hey, buddy, I sure miss you on the radio. Thousands of others would love to meet you at your favorite tavern, have a few beers. Hope the Hangman's doing well." He's shout out to Hangman.
He's at Disney.
Is he at Disney
I'm
again?
not kidding.
Oh my
Every
God.
weekend they're at Disney.
They've got to just get a condo. I mean, it's
I don't know why the hell he doesn't work for Disney. Why doesn't he work? Well,
his
she's
wife
got a
does.
job. She's got a job.
I think she has an affiliation.
Yeah.
I don't think she works for them, but she has an affiliation. But well,
She's on
so
some kind of Disney board, or she's on
Yeah.
some kind of board.
but again, they go so often. Their kids ask them to stay home. They went without their kids the last time.
What did they do with the kids?
They stayed with somebody else.
Were they free range?
Yeah, apparently. They out in the backyard. They have a tent. It was so great. No, their kids said, we don't want to go, so they left them with their parents or whoever. Yeah, they went
Wow.
down by themselves. I swear, I'm not making this up.
Wow.
Their kids said, we don't want to go. We're tired of going to Disney World.
What's a long ass drive?
It's
That's
a
an
lot.
8-hour
it's a
drive.
thing. It's a whole thing.
Oh.
Anyway, he says, meet you for a couple of beers. Hope the hemp da. I'm divorced after 48 years to the only woman I ever loved. Met on a blind date at 19 and thought it was forever. Until she meets someone she married, thank God, on a police pension. She got half, a whopping $1,200 a month. She remarried last August, and I was so happy I offered to pay for her wedding. Now, that's a guy with a great attitude. Anyhow, I just want to keep in touch with you, one of the last red-blooded American warriors. God bless. My best wishes from Steve, retired original member of 1972 SWAT. Hoorah. Anyway, thanks, Steve. Great for, I appreciate you staying in touch with us. I thought it was pretty funny about paying for the wedding. Would you like to know how to make a Frosty?
We've done this.
We did that one?
Yeah, we've done this before. Yeah.
To make a Frosty?
Yeah.
I do not remember that.
I-
Flounder, do you remember we did a recipe on making a Frosty?
I vaguely don't remember.
You remember?
I remember 'cause it was about a
Yeah, like
Frosty.
9 years ago, maybe or something.
No, it was within the last year because it was. That's the second time that the recipe has been up on the internet, and I talked about it, and we talked.
I kind of
we
remember.
went through it.
I don't remember that you gave the recipe.
I gave
though.
why wouldn't I give the recipe when we're
I
doing
don't.
a recipe?
I don't remember. Okay, well, now I will have to give it. It's
We
only.
denied everybody the recipe.
It's only one thing, so it's not like it's a whole.
You know, it's a pain in the ass. Just go to Wendy's. Like today, when
Yeah,
I leave
it's
here,
not
I'm
worth
either
it.
going to go get Chinese or I'm going to go to Wendy's and
Ooh,
get
I
that
was
strawberry.
craving some Mongolian
Yeah.
beef.
I'm telling you. Now you mentioned it's Pineapple Day. I should get the sweet and sour
no
chicken or something.
Where do you have a go-to place?
Yeah, the
for your-
Canton. It's down there by the Whole Foods on Roswell Road. Canton Cooks or something. There's two of them, and I go to the one down there by Whole Foods.
Is it in the same parking lot of Whole Foods, or is it the
and
one
it's
past
really,
it?
they're really good. They're really,
Well,
really
now
good.
I can't find it, but it's basically chocolate milk and Eagle brand milk and
Yeah.
Cool Whip.
I'll tell you what, though,
And that's
that
it.
Whole Foods off Roswell Road, they're a little slack on the hot bar. Like all the other Whole Foods I go to, like the one off Old Milton Parkway, I highly recommend you try and go and getting a hot meal. That they're
Yeah.
At where?
Whole
Whole
Foods.
Foods.
Really?
Yeah, there's one off Old Milton Parkway, and it's 10 times better than the one on Roswell Road.
Guess what I did yesterday morning?
What?
They have a breakfast bar. It's,
really?
it's
Is it-
not huge.
Yeah, what about how do they
It's-
do the eggs though?
The eggs are wonderful. The
Are
eggs
they,
are
they all just in a
wonderful.
bucket, or do they
Well,
make
it's a
them?
big
or-
old bucket, and they make them.
Yeah, okay.
And you put, and the bacon was great, and that the potatoes, the roasted potatoes with the peppers.
Is this at Whole Foods? You're
Whole
talking
Foods.
About?
They open at 7 a.m. And I went there and got the breakfast
Jeez.
thing. It's not a huge bar, but it's the best one I've seen since Shoney's. Shoney's
Shoney's
had
had
the
a great-
greatest
yes.
breakfast bar of all time. The
Wow.
greatest ever.
Just huge. Just
But
as
I went,
long as this
but
room.
on, 5 a.m. Sunday morning, I'm just jonesing for cherry pie. I gotta have some cherry pie. They have the best cherry pie at Whole Foods. They use buttercream. That's how good they even put it on
Oh,
the
my.
buttercream.
Yeah.
So I go there 7:00 in the morning. I'm going for the breakfast bar, and I go by and I go. The first time ever, there's no chair. There's apple. There's everything. There's no chair. So I go to the guy behind the counter and said, "Cherry pie?" He goes, "Yeah, I think we got some." And he turns to the other girl, "Do we have cherry pie?" And she goes, "We don't have any cherry pie."
Oh.
I go, "Well, when are we going to have cherry pie?"
Yeah.
It's going to be about 2 hours. I said, "I'm not going to sit here for 2 hours." But then again, after Ole Miss won yesterday, I went and got the cherry pie.
Oh, there you go. Now we're going to talk about Ole Miss here in a couple of minutes.
But they have a
Shortly.
breakfast bar. If you're not doing anything, you can wander in
Well,
there.
I'll be
It's not
damned.
bad.
And where's the Whole Foods near me? Somewhere near? Is it North Point?
No, Old Milton Parkway. So you know we're at, like, if you you get on 400 and you're going north and you get off, you would have to take a left to go to your house, right?
Yeah.
It's right up there on the right where Avalon
I'll be
is.
damned. Okay, oh, thank. All right, I appreciate it. A couple things. Carol Burnett's in the news.
What'd she do?
Carol Burnett is going to be a guest star in the final season of Better Call Saul. Carol Burnett.
Why would you
Why
wanna
in the?
Why would you want to? What a surprise that would have been if all of a sudden Carol
It's
Burnett
in the
wandered
news.
in.
It's all over
I
the
didn't
TV.
see it.
Well,
Thanks a lot. You
well,
spoiled another one.
here we go again. I've spoiled Pete Davis is seeing a surprise.
Why would you do
by
that?
It's in the news. I wanted to talk about Carol Burnett. Is going to be. She's still alive, and she's going to be on Better Call Farking Saul for the last final Farking season. She's a 6-time Emmy Award winner. In season 6, she'll be a character named Marion. We don't know exactly
Tell
what.
me if she dies.
We don't know what she's going to be doing or what her role is or what happens to her or what she does or anything other than she's going to be in it. So that to me is exciting, and I'm very, very excited about it. Also, she will join Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul, who will also be guests to reprise their Breaking Bad role. Well, everybody knew that. They've been saying.
I didn't know they'd come back.
Oh my God, Pete, that's been known for months. You bastard, you're just dicking with me to make me feel bad.
You're gonna, at some point, though, you're going to say a secret.
There are no secrets. There are. I don't have any secrets. I will never try to do a secret again. I swear to you. Anyway, they're coming back. They're going to be, which I think was fine. Carol Burnett said, "I'm thrilled to be part of my favorite show. The second half of their 6th and final season will begin airing July 11th, and the last show is August 15th. Okay. So here we go, and this is going to be huge." I don't want to think about it because I don't want to spoil it for myself, But I'm trying to figure out how are they going to explain Kim, the wife, stuff. I mean,
that's the big mystery.
That's the big
what do they
mystery
do
to
with
me.
her?
Yeah, and I guess they explained it, and I think I read something where they said it all makes sense or you'll understand something, but I don't know.
Stop.
Again, I don't know anything, so I can't spoil anything. You bastard. Okay.
Kim, we're about to spoil yet another show of mine.
Yes, thank you.
Brought to you by Atlanta Custom Closets, closetpro.net, 404-255-0589. That's Atlanta Custom Closets, closetpro.net.
Well, thank you very much. They are one of our fine longtime sponsors, we are completely appreciative of their support, I promise you. And again, if you'd like to be a sponsor, you can be a double sponsor like we have one of our longtime sponsors we'll talk about in a second. I want to separate our sponsors from each other. But just go to thekimmershow.net and everything will take care of you.
Yeah,
right
I notice
there.
you're kind of slacking the old sponsors.
I just
all the weight here.
Wanted to give you an opportunity. Now, okay, issue time. I did take a break from watching the news. Every time I turn on the news all weekend. Now, again, when I go home Friday night after the stable and stuff, I put Fox on, see what's on the news, and all through the weekend, I tend to leave it there and put it up. I was so sick and tired of hearing about the abortion. I mean, oh my God, it's just wall-to-wall coverage. I took a break. I almost didn't watch almost any news the whole weekend. I watched sports. I watched the. In fact, let's talk. Can we do a sports thing right now? Let's do a sports thing right now. I wanted to get rid of all this new stuff. Okay. Ole Miss. I watched that. Man, what? I mean, you must have been going nuts. I mean, because it could have gone. I mean, it was a great game. I mean,
I was calm until the end, and that final strike. I'm not lying to you. I wept.
Really?
I did not expect that to happen. I got up from the couch and I stood in front of the TV watching them dogpile on each other, and I started crying.
Yeah, it was a hell of an emotional time.
I've waited my whole life for that moment. I know it's never going to happen in football. The last time was when I was born. It's never going to happen during my lifetime. But they won the baseball when no one thought it was like the Braves last year. No one expected them.
Were they even ranked?
They weren't even supposed to be in it.
Yeah,
they were
I don't think
probably
they were
the last team picked in.
Yeah.
And it's just to do what they did and dominate the way they
Especially
did.
Oklahoma. I mean,
Oklahoma was low rated too. Basically, Ole Miss was a 3rd seed. That's akin to the 9th seed in the basketball tournament winning.
Yeah.
That's how far back
it was an
they
amazing
were.
accomplishment, no question about it.
And just a year after Mississippi State won it, which means they had bragging rights for just 1 year,
Right.
and now it's gone.
Yeah.
But the last 2 years, the college baseball has gone through the Magnolia State, which has never happened before either. And it's just I actually sat there and cried, which I didn't do when the Braves won either time. And it was it was overwhelming.
Yeah. In fact, speaking of that, I have to admit to you that I got very emotional with Freddie Freeman's return at the ballpark. Yeah. And I mean, I was getting teary-eyed and weepy and emotional, and I mean, when he was hugging his best friend, I mean, it was very, very touching. And by the way, I heard a couple of real dipshits who were complaining on the radio. Oh, he's on another team now, so they don't give a damn about Freddie Freeman. Oh, just stop,
losers.
Just everybody's got to be a naysayer about. I mean, give me a break. You can't feel nice things about somebody who's a nice man.
He won you a World Series.
Who brought you memories that you'll never forget. For God,
there's no World Series win without Freddie Freeman.
Jeez. And plus, it's not his fault that he they could have kept him.
Well, it is kind of, as Buster Olney was explaining. It is kind of his fault. Well, him and his agent.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, but either way,
they made a mistake.
Either way,
and you could tell he knew. He knows he made a mistake. And then Clayton Kershaw said, "I hope we're not second fiddle. I got bad news for you. You are up until now.
Yeah.
I think now he's Dodger blue from here on out because he has to."
I agree, because this weekend was a big thing for him, coming back home and playing at Truist. We don't see him again till the end of the season, right?
Yeah, I think all this will be, everything. Well, hell, Dale Murphy got traded. I mean,
he has to be traded.
Yeah, but again,
Freddie didn't
still, but you still don't hate it. Well, yeah,
No,
but
you
on the
don't
other
hate
hand,
Dale
anyway, whatever.
Phil Niekro left, but I've never, and they said on ESPN and MLB Network,
Hank
they had
Aaron.
never seen a player leave a team and come back and get that reception for 3 straight days.
Right.
That just shows Atlanta fans their true colors.
That's
This still is a nice place to live, and Freddie knows that. He had it perfect here. He had the perfect situation, and because as Buster Olney explained, after taxes and everything, the Dodgers offer is less than what the Braves last offer was.
Expenses and everything. Yeah, probably so. But again, it's a shame. But it was I was very emotional. I don't mind admitting it, and I'm glad to see it. And so what the hell? And fun
he
games.
He got the damn winning hit yesterday.
Yeah, that's a little.
We'll give it to him.
Well, what the hell? Now, did you see
he shows that he's the epitome of what a baseball player should be.
It literally was a Lou Gehrig type moment.
Yeah, I mean, he's
like
just
1930s type thing coming up.
The fact that he got that emotional shows how much he loves the Braves and the game.
His news conference, he's bawling.
He couldn't. He had to leave. He walked up to the podium and then turned around and left.
Yeah. Well, it was and hugging his friends and the players and the coach and manager. I mean, it was
refreshing,
wonderful. Did you see the brawl with the Angels and the Mariners?
No, did you see the
face
toss?
Push?
No, the toss. Raciel Iglesias of the Angels.
Oh, the peanuts.
The tray with all the double bubble gum,
that was
all the sunflower seeds, and that son of a bitch tossed that 50 yards.
And it was in slow motion. I saw it replayed in slow
And it
motion.
kept going
It was
and
hysterical.
going.
And I thought, oh my God, it's going to take off
What an
into the
arm.
sky.
That was Jesse Winker doing this as he's going off.
That was
And
hysterical.
he apologized. He said, "I'm sorry for the women and children that saw that. I really feel bad for doing that. And good for him for doing that."
Yeah, but still, I mean, and that was,
So what? Obviously, someone was saying something in the dugout to the hitter. What?
Well,
Because it went from because it really wasn't. Obviously, the pitcher hit him.
They buzzed Mike Trout the night before. You don't buzz Mike Trout. And
yeah.
he said something about it. And then the first inning, the Angels pitcher hits the Mariner guy, throws behind one of the Mariner guys, and then hits the next one in the butt, Jesse Winker.
Yeah.
And then someone carped from the dugout, and that set him off.
That's what set him off, because he didn't go towards the pitcher at all.
No, he was going to go first. And so someone probably says, "Get your blanket butt to first," and that's what. Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of baseball, don't go anywhere. In fact, two things. I put a picture of the new sport which is raging through America, which I don't understand, and also the Boys of Summer. An excerpt from a new version, which I think you'll enjoy, and it's a flashback to times that used to be.
You said that word right. Most people just say excerpt. You said excerpt.
I thank you. But first, I mentioned a moment ago, if you'd like to join us as a sponsor, there are a couple of ways to do it. You can go to thekimmershow.net, and like Wise RV Glass, what's the matter?
Come to the dark
Wise RV Glass, you can be a double sponsor. They not only sponsor the podcast, they also sponsor the podcast Facebook page with our great appreciation. Wise, W-I-S-E, Wise RV Glass. If you have an RV, a motor coach, or a camper, And any kind of a glass issue, maybe a cracked double pane window or fogged up or a rear view mirror or that hard to find one-piece flat front windshield in some of these RVs and stuff, they got it all for you. And again, don't be afraid of saying, oh, I only broken a rear view mirror. I'm not going to call them for that. Yeah, call them for that. That's what they do. And it's all over North Georgia. And they go all over Metro Atlanta. And no job is too big or too small. If you have a fleet of cars and you need them all replaced or checked out or whatever, they'll do that. If you have one window that's scratched up, they'll take care of that too. Wise RV Glass. All mobile. They come to you, fix you up, and on your way. Here's a phone number. 470-345-6521 or on the web, wiservglass.com. Say hi to Russell. He's the boss now. His dad, Carl, retired not long ago, and they're doing a great job. Wise RV Glass.
Vindication. Mark is writing to us. He's watching right now. And he goes, thanks for the spoiler, Kimmer.
Oh, please. Oh, he's mad that Carol Burnett's going to be on Breaking Bad. Oh, ooh, Better Call Saul. I don't even know which one it is. Sorry, Mark. Oh, you bastard. You can all blow me.
You know what we also need? I was sitting over there and I'm watching the camera when Flounder came in. We need entrance music when Flounder comes in from his many marches out the door.
Da-da-da-da-da. No business like so. I love it. I brought you in this edition of Sports Illustrated. It used to be once a week, and now it's whenever they do it. And there's it's like a 10-page article in there on pickleball.
It's amazing.
Unbelievable. I sent a picture the last time I was in Florida with the girls for spring break, with my daughters and our grandkids. They were playing pickleball, and the first time I'd ever seen it or even hit one with a paddle. And to me, you know, when I've watched pickleball tournaments, and it looks like they're just doing little patty cake over the net. How could that be fun? They're just doing patty cake, and then goes wham bow. Oh, I mean, is that fun?
Well,
yeah, it looks fun.
Here's
It's
the
all
problem
over.
With it. It's at my park, and
It's everywhere.
I'm constantly chasing them off my court when I'm trying to hit the balls. But anyway, but they're constantly everywhere, and they always have the signs. And every time I go on there, pickleball.com.org.net. There's no place to sign up. It's to sign up and play pickleball, and you go on there. There's no place to sign up.
Well, I won't dwell on this, but in that our Sports Illustrated, this issue, it describes the hatred and the violent, vicious backstabbing and fighting between the two international organizations run by billionaires who are so into pickleball that that's all they can think about.
Saudi Arabians.
There are teams and clubs and prizes and tournaments, and every retirement community has 50 pickleball courts. I mean, I've never seen anything like it.
I guarantee you I would dominate in that sport.
Well,
in fact, former athletes, like baseball players, are getting into it now.
I know. That's right. That's true. But again, I don't see I haven't played it, but it just doesn't look, it's a little patty cake. You go bippity blop, the little teeny little patty cake things until somebody tries to hit it outside the 7-foot box or something. I don't know.
In the early 80s, when I lived in San Diego, you just see them down there on the beach playing it. And we just sit and laugh. What the hell is that?
I think it started in the Northwest, in Portland or Seattle or someplace up there. And now, I couldn't believe this article. It's like a 10 or 12-page article on pickleball and the fighting to see who's going to control it.
It's great for you get up in age because you don't move around as much.
Yeah.
The legs aren't there. So you're still moving around.
Yeah, true.
And you're using your hand-eye coordination. So it's a good thing.
And they swear, believe me, they're quoting everybody saying, I've never heard anyone say this is not fun.
And they're saying it's addictive.
Everybody can't stop playing. They have leagues. They play 4 times a week or every day.
You can actually talk because you're close enough. In tennis, you can't really talk to you.
Yeah.
You're close enough that you can sit there and talk while you're doing it.
Yeah, I know. It's the damnedest thing. But again,
I go by that park near me, and they're there they were there yesterday. And I was like, get the hell off my tennis court.
Yeah, they're hooked. And also in that Sports Illustrated, there's an article, I think it's called Boys of Summer, but it's like an updated version written by Steve Rushin. I like Steve Rushin. I think he's a good writer. A good writer. You're a great writer, so you'd appreciate this. I'm going to read an excerpt for you from Steve Rushin concerning the way things used to be. And what he did was he interviewed the children of the Boys of Summer of the 50s.
And Dodgers,
and others. I mean, he interviewed children of former baseball stars of the era of the Boys of Summer, and got their reflections and so forth. And here's One of my favorites when I was a kid, we were in the Northeast, and the only radio we'd ever really get was either the Brooklyn Dodgers or the New York Giants and the Yankees, and
Red
just
Sox?
the East Coast.
No
things.
Red Sox?
No, I guess we did too, but the family was a National League family, so we listened to the Giants and the Dodgers, basically. Anyway, here's a story. Steve Russian wrote this. Irene Hodges was 18 years old when she visited her father at his shop in New York City on a fall day in 1969. A raucous workplace celebration was underway. The firm managed by Irene's dad, the Mets, had just won the World Series. Irene and her 19-year-old brother, Gil Hodges Jr., braved the crossfire of champagne corks to get to their father's office, where the silent phone on Gil Hodges' desk drew the attention of their mother, Joan. Gil, Joan told her husband, you should call your mother. Gil's mother was at home watching the celebration on TV in Indiana, where Hodges began his long journey to secular sainthood, first as a Marine in World War II, then as a beloved member of the Brooklyn Dodgers, and as a player for the original Los Angeles Dodgers and original New York Mets, and finally as manager of those amazing Mets. Gil thought for a moment and said, that's a long-distance call. I think I should make that one at home. He was considerate of not using the phone to call his mother when he won the World Series. The amazing Mets won the World Series. Irene Hodges is now 71, living again in that house where she grew up in Flatbush, where she's caring for her 95-year-old mother. It's the same split level to which Gil Hodges returned in the 1960s after managing the Mets in the same borough where he played first base at Ebbets Field, 75 feet from Jackie Robinson, once upon a time. He used to walk to the stores around here, says Irene. He was part of the church, part of the community, did the same thing as anyone else would do. Go to the butcher, the supermarket, people would shake his hand, put an arm around him and say, hey, Gil, how are you? Good luck tonight. We're rooting for you. It was never intrusive, never threatening. It was a 20-minute drive home from Shea to the crisp Thursday afternoon 53 years ago. Irene is thinking of the lost world it betokened, of long-distance calls, rotary dial phones, World Series day games, and baseball at the center of attention. All of it has long since passed from this world, as has her father. But her memory's alive. He had just won one of the biggest World Series in New York history, but that didn't change the essence of the man. He was still going to do the right thing. He called his mother from home. That's the perfect story of who my father was. He was a man who never swore, at least not at home. He probably did at the clubhouse. Maybe at combat in Okinawa as a Marine. He never countenanced lying. There was no coming back from that. She traveled to Dodgertown and Vero Beach for spring training every year. We played with Carl Furillo's kids, Jackie Robinson's children, referring to Furillo and Robinson, the Dodgers of the 50s, immortalized as the boys of summer. It was a wonderful time to grow up. There's a lot more. I mean, that's basically the story. But again, because that was my life. I grew up in that time, and I remember those days, and sneaking the radio and under the covers at night. And
we snuck the radios to school.
Yeah.
To listen to
well,
it at school.
our teacher would say, if you're good,
you can listen
we'll turn on the radio at 2 o'clock or whatever.
The Baltimore-Cincinnati series. I remember the day games.
And again, we couldn't wait to get home to watch the rest of it. And so, I mean, it was just... what a great! I mean, it was a wonderful time, and I guess everybody feels nostalgia about that stuff. But anyway, that was it. Really was a. I got to keep that. I got more thing for Pete. Fun time. Excuse me. Okay. All right. The abortion decision. Apparently, Senator Raphael Weifnacher, who loves abortion, and I think he may have actually be in charge of an abortion clinic. Has come out now saying, we need more abortions in this country. He said there are bad... he actually said this, Raphael Weifnacher, we've seen bad decisions coming from bad actors sitting on the Supreme Court. And he believes in a woman's right to abortion as a man of the cloth, somehow. But he's come up with a new rallying cry for when he gets to the pulpit next time at the Ebenezer Baptist Church. If you want to get an abortion, clap your hands. If you want to get an abortion, clap your hands. It's going to be kind of a religious theme to it, though. It'll be some organ music and girls in choir robes. And if you want to get an abortion, clap your hands. Apparently, he is a suspected abortionist. And there was a rumor, I don't think this is true at all, but there was a rumor that he was buying baby parts from Planned Parenthood and then giving them out as part of religious keychains.
Like rabbit's foot?
Like rabbit's feet, only they were baby's feet, actual baby's feet, or tiny male testicles. And he would put them like for doorknob covers and things as part of the Ebenezer Baptist Church, who was so proud of having Raphael Wifeknocker, who was never charged with attempting murder on his wife. That was definitely not something that ever made it through the courts. So he's got that going for him, which is nice. A couple of other quick reactions, and again, of course, a newspaper saying, this puts the GOP in a tough position, man. They're going to get killed in the election now because everybody's going to vote for the abortion case and the gun thing. I don't think that's going to happen, but who knows? Have you heard about the idiot from Green Day? Billy Joe Armstrong.
They are little idiots.
He's now renouncing his American citizenship.
Good.
Thank you, God.
Good.
I'll pay for your plane ticket. He's moving to England.
Good.
Quote the American idiot. What's that?
His ass is going to stay right in America where he made all his fucking money.
Well, he said he made the comments to a crowd at the band show in London. He said, F America, I'm effing renouncing my citizenship. I'm effing coming here. There's just too much effing stupid in the world to go back to that miserable effing excuse for a country. Oh, I'm not kidding. You're going to get a lot of me in the coming days.
They'll love him over there. Because he'll be just as miserable there as he is here.
Oh, they're going to love this guy.
Well, are there stricter
socialist.
abortion laws over there than here?
Yeah,
Well, have you
basically.
seen this guy, by the way?
Green Day has always been overrated and full of themselves.
Armstrong is 50 years old. He's been Green Day's frontman since 1987.
Hated America since 1970.
And again, he's claiming that this is the business with what he's going to be doing because of that. Also, Sharon Stone's in the news because of the abortion ruling, but kind of a weird side story on it, which I'm kind of, I even hate to mention it, but it's all over the news, so here we go. Sharon Stone has revealed that she has had 9 miscarriages. She came out with a very powerful statement about reproductive health in light of the Supreme Court station, and here's what Sharon Stone says. She offered this as a comment on the case and what's going on. Quote, I lost 9 children by miscarriage. We as females don't have a forum to discuss the profundity of this loss. It is no small thing, physically nor emotionally, yet we are made to feel it is something to bear alone and secretly with some kind of sense of failure. Instead of receiving the much-needed compassion and empathy and healing which we so need, female health and wellness left to the care of the male ideology has become lax at best. Oh, no, wait a minute. Let me say this again. Just a minute. Instead of receiving the much-needed compassion and empathy and healing which we so need, female health and wellness left to the care of the male ideology has become lax at best, ignorant in fact, and violently oppressive in effort. That's bullshit.
It's complete bullshit.
Everybody feels bad about a woman's miscarriage. Who doesn't try to go? I mean, come
She just
on.
wants attention. No matter what the attention is, she wants attention.
What's she talking about? It's bullshit.
She's not alone. I got some things too after you're through that have been on social media that are insane.
Yeah, did you?
They want us dead, is what they want.
Did you hear what Anna Navarro said?
Oh God, yeah. Tell the people.
Fat.
Yes, she was talking about how she has relatives who have Down syndrome who've been suffering for years.
Yeah. She made it. And she actually said there's a need for abortion in cases where the child is not going to come out right, and if Down syndrome kids, we have people in my family. She said, and if they had known, if they would have been able to have this, and people are saying, "Are you serious?"
They know.
Yeah, this is eugenics.
Yes.
I mean, Anna Navarro was
This is Iceland. What they're doing.
Supporting eugenics.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Get rid of the bad seeds.
She's not a Catholic.
Oh my
They claim
God.
They're Catholic. They're not Catholic.
I mean, that's the most repulsive thing
That's what they do in Iceland. I think it's illegal to bring a Down syndrome kid in.
I mean, holy moly. I mean, that's just the most disgusting.
The race shall be pure. No undesirables.
Oh my God! All right.
So are you through?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's some of this. Mark Judson, who has the I Stand With Ukraine.
Yeah.
I totally get why Romans killed Christians now. It so makes sense. #violence.
Whoa.
There's a female doctor. I prescribe meds. I can also choose not to prescribe them. So, from now on, if you are a white male who votes conservative, your penis needs to ask God for the power to rise. No more Viagra. So basically, she's
That's a woman?
a woman doctor who's basically prescribing medication based on her patient's political affiliation and race. So hopefully she'll be fired.
Wow.
Monica Lewinsky, who has her pronouns in her Twitter thing, she and her.
No.
F
Monica.
you Roberts, F you Thomas, F you Alito, F you Kavanaugh, F you Gorsuch. And someone said, is that an offer?
Well, no, she doesn't really need to do the F situation.
Yeah.
Now, Monica Lewinsky is
Well, she wants the left to love her again. And that's how she can do it.
she hates the left. They turned their backs on her.
Wants their
Every woman in
attention.
America turned their
She
backs on her.
wants
All the
their
left Democrats turned their
affirmation.
backs on her.
She's
Called
a
her a
Democrat
whore.
at heart. She wants their attention.
Well, I've lost a lot of respect for
New
I
York
had a lot
Democrat.
of respect
You
for
had?
Monica Lewinsky. No, I did for the way she handled things and what she came out with, what she started, and how she's dealt with it. I totally admire
They
her for
want
that.
us dead as
that's
the children they've
bullshit.
killed.
That's just
basically.
crap. Oh my God!
All for convenience.
All right, hold everything. You have some happy facts, I think, coming up.
I sure do.
Now, hold on. Hold those for us.
whatever.
And a woke Hollywood bomb, or was that part of it? Woke Hollywood bomb. Hollywood getting woke movies bad. Woke Hollywood.
Yeah. Well,
Something
we talked about it with Buzz Lightyear, which is bombing.
Okay. Well, coming up.
But there's something
Yep,
else.
save that for us. Okay, coming up. First, I wanted to remind you that Dead Crow Defense is back and ready to arm patriots like you and me. They're not a gun store. Dead Crow Defense is your personal arms dealer. You get a phone call, you have been waiting for this thing to come in, boom, bam, it's there. Your phone buzzes, and your personal arms dealer is there to make sure you're taken care of. After a short search, the thing you wanted is there and on its way. By the way, they don't scoff at Dead Crow Defense when you say, I need a specific caliber of ammunition because nobody else has got it. Guess what? They'll get it for you. Dead Crow makes firearm, suppressor, ammunition, and gear sales easy and painless. It's old-fashioned, personalized customer service and quality products. Yeah, it's been this easy since the 30s to get a suppressor in America. You wait maybe 65 days for Dead Crow, and a whole bunch longer than that anywhere else, I promise you. Online, easy to find. DeadCrowDefense.com. In-stock items shipped the next day. If you're in a pinch, don't know what you're doing, you got some questions, or you want to see what they can do for you, give them a call. Here's the number, 678-576-9117, 678-576-9117, or shoot them an email, sales@deadcrowdefense.com. Get your personal arms dealer reaching out to you directly, taking care of what you're looking for and what you need. Please tell them the Kimmer sent you. They are here to take care of what you're looking for. Dead Crow Defense, your arms dealers. Yahoo! Let's see. I mentioned, a couple of very sneaky things going on in politics. Did you see? I got to find it here in a second. I got it here just a second. In Arizona, what the hell?
What'd you do?
Arizona, I don't know where my video, where'd they go? Yeah, here we go. That's the damnedest thing I ever saw. Oh, that's not it. Hold on. Crap, where's my Arizona? Here we go. I found it, sorry. In Arizona, because of the abortion ruling, the protesters caused an insurrection. They broke into the Senate entryway, broke the glass, caused damage. The situation, quote, escalated into a hostage situation as lawmakers in Arizona were told not to leave the Senate building because they were in danger. The Republican caucus of the state Senate called the protest an attempted insurrection. Yep. We are currently being held hostage inside the Senate building due to members of the public trying to breach our security. We smell tear gas, and the children of one of our members are in the office sobbing with fear. I expect a June 24 committee to be created immediately. Yeah, like that's going to happen. But again, this is what they do. If that had been Republicans, not only would they be charged, they wouldn't take into jail, and they would have been charged. Or shot in the neck. Yeah, or shoot them in the neck.
You break glass, boom.
That's right. And Ashley Babbitt just walked in a window. She didn't break anything, and she was surrounded by cops. I remember when I saw that video, there were at least 2 cops within 4 feet of her. Yeah, could have been a ricochet. That's just. outrageous. And now, one more thing. This is
Why don't
really...
we dox him? If they dox Supreme Court judge, why are we in front of his house?
I agree. Well, because we don't do that, I guess.
Right.
I mean,
we're
don't.
human.
We have jobs, and by the way, have you seen those people, those women who are? I mean,
They're
oh my
uneffable.
God.
That's a good way to
never
stop
gonna have
abortion.
an abortion, honey.
Make yourself uneffable.
I'm sorry,
not
but
with your
my
poll.
God.
Sorry.
This story, my little friend Gretchen sent this, but it's making the news too. You have to look for it, though. The Biden administration, President Vijay, is basically giving amnesty to illegal immigrants. Here's what's happening. The Joe Potato Head administration has issued a mandate to federal prosecutors to throw out backlogged cases, which could add up to about 2 million. 2 million backlogged cases in immigration courts, and the mandate by President Dippity Boppity could effectively pardon 1 million people within the next year or so. There is a memo from ICE and the Department of Homeland Security, which says we have put our thumb sort of heavily in favor of dismissal and durable solutions. Even if you've spent a lot of time on the case, if it's a non-priority, you should be moving to offer prosecutorial discretion in that case. In other words, they are dismissing cases representing an illegal immigrant can now go to apply for legal residency and move towards citizenship. The dismissals are not just de facto amnesty, they are aiding and abetting lawlessness. Immigration enforcement officers say it's a direct assault on their ability to do the jobs they were sworn to do. The only cases they are going to make against the immigrants are those involving violent, physical, criminal activity. But all the others who just came in, they're getting a free pass.
Of course they are.
There's your amnesty. He did it. They pulled it off. Just by him saying that, him saying, stop prosecuting those cases. Oh, okay. Yeah. Boom, they're in. God, I mean, come on. Here's the kind of people we have in Congress. Speaking of heathens who are going to go to hell when they die with their soulless devil heart inside their chest cavity, like Nancy Botoxy. At a swearing-in ceremony, a Texas Republican representative you know as Mayra Flores, a big story about her being the first Mexican-born American citizen to win a seat in Congress, especially as a woman. She has tweeted out that Nancy Pelosi shoved her daughter during a photo op last week, and I saw the video. Yeah. And the representative Mayra Flores says, I'm so proud of my strong, beautiful daughter for not allowing this to faze her. It was a swearing-in ceremony a couple days ago. She continued to smile and pose for the picture like a queen. The video shows Pelosi waving to somebody off camera when she looks down to see Flores' daughter standing right next to her, and Pelosi shoves her with her elbow at her side to try to kind of push her away a little bit. And Mayra Flores, a mother, the congresswoman, said, no child should be pushed to the side for a photo op, period. I thank God for the Supreme Court's historic decision today. It was clear the Constitution never created a right to abortion. This is the congressman saying she appreciated the decision. She was born in Mexico, came to the U.S. at age 6, became legalized and naturalized citizen. And some reaction, James Woods tweeted out, I love this princess stood her ground while Nancy showed her true colors. Pelosi's a narcissistic, twisted, lying, hate-filled person falsely pretending that she's virtuous. Biden's no better. Both are inflicting great damage on its institutions, economy, individual rights, all for a false socialist future while their crime families grow richer. God, did you see another story on Hunter? They caught him now meeting with several Russian oligarchs as well as Chinese billionaires over the years in like 2012 and 2013. I mean, oh my God. It's the crime family from hell. Stoned Age said, when you drink vodka for breakfast, have Xanax for Botox for lunch, and you might be the next evil creature in Stranger Things, Nancy Pelosi. It's telling when she smiles as she shoves a child away from her. She smiles a lot and pushes a lot. It's time for new blood in Congress. Mike said, what if Trump did that? Can you imagine the replay on all the networks? Imagine the racism accusations because it's a little Spanish child. It's an American girl, but Spanish by culture. Good thing Myra Flores didn't see drunk Nan do it in the moment. Grandma Vodka gets a bit mean when she's all liquored up. I love a Grandma Vodka. She thought the little girl was a waitress who forgot to bring her martini. Anyway, it goes on.
I wish that little girl had dropped that dried up husk like a sack of potatoes.
Slap her
Just
in the
right
face,
in the gut.
kick her in the knee or something. You know, that would have been funny. Like a little girl kick her in the knee. That would have been freaking hysterical. Yeah, lean down a minute. In fact, I'll try to find it. I have a picture.
Duran, uppercut.
I have a photograph of Hillary Rodham Peasting Fart Cabbage holding a baby, trying to kiss a baby, big smile on her face, and the baby's making a fist. And the caption is a little closer. And it's really, really pretty funny. One more goofy thing here involving celebrities, which popped up today. I put this on the Facebook page, I think. There's a picture of Brad Pitt from the cover. It was a cover of Vanity Fair. GQ, I'm sorry. The cover of GQ is a photograph of Brad Pitt made up to look like a corpse, like he's dead, laying in a field of flowers and flowery kind of, I guess it's all flowers and doodads. And he's got a lizard on. He's wearing a blue leather shirt, and he's got, he's got rings and big gold necklaces, and he looks really freaky. And as part of his cover story for GQ, and a lot of people are very upset about this. They don't know what the hell is going on. One says, boy, he looks like a corpse on the cover of GQ. Another says, the reference is estranged wife Angelina Jolie. Somebody at GQ magazine hates Brad Pitt. The cover screams justice for Angelina. He looks like a wax figure, but melted. Others are less kind, pointing out the funeral vibes and saying the star of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood appeared to be posing in a casket or looking embalmed and not unnaturally pale. His eyes appear blank, staring into space. Brad Pitt, by the way, filed a lawsuit against Angelina Jolie of selling to a Russian vodka billionaire her shares in the estate where they have their celebrity wine country or something in France. He said somebody tricked him a few years ago, believing the millions of dollars worth of gold was buried somewhere on the property, and he tried to dig it up and couldn't find it, never found it. So anyway, I thought that was pretty.
But you know what? He got exactly what he wanted out of that photo.
Yeah.
Publicity.
Yeah. And by the way, for the record, I didn't even mention my Carol Burnett story. There's a picture floating around of Carol Burnett kissing me on the cheek when I was in the Marine Corps.
You just did.
Thank you. I didn't mention the picture. I mentioned her. I didn't mention her picture with me. And when I sent a picture, and it was in the newspaper, I clipped it out, and sent it to my mother, and she wrote a letter to Carol Burnett, addressed Carol Burnett, Hollywood, California. And by God, I'm not making this up. Carol Burnett got the letter, read the letter, and sent a letter back to my mother saying how much she enjoyed the Peter camera me when she met me at the thing. All right, hit the bell. Sorry. All right, I'm done.
I'm glad you didn't go to the trouble of mentioning that.
I'm going to mention the thing. All right, hold on a second.
Wait a minute.
What's that? Oh, you're going to beat me?
Oh, go ahead.
No, all right, hold on a second. I wanted. You ever heard the name Baxter Black?
Baxter?
Do you know that name?
No.
I didn't either, but apparently he's well known. A one-time veterinarian who turned to storytelling as a columnist and novelist and an NPR commentator. He was called America's foremost cowboy poet. 77 years old, Baxter Black, the trail boss of the Cowboy Poets, died at 77. Ghislaine Maxwell is on suicide watch. The British socialite involved with the Jeffrey Epstein perv team. Yeah. She's on suicide watch. I guess she's looks like she's dying. I mean, she apparently is a wreck.
What does she got left? You know?
Well, and I guess they're beating her and picking on her and won't give her food. I don't know. She's complaining about something. They explore one more quick thing here, man. I got a sponsorship for you. Explorers have discovered the deepest wreck ever from World War II, a battle in outside the Philippines. The USS Samuel B. Roberts, known as the Sammy B., a Navy destroyer, American Navy destroyer. got into a scrap with Japanese ships, and it sank 22,916 feet down. Holy moly! That's 4.5 miles.
To the east of the Philippines is some of the deepest there is.
Have they even gotten to the bottom of all the oceans?
Yeah, I think
they probably have.
They went to the bottom of the Marianas Trench with the robot.
Yeah, that's supposed to be the deepest
and there's
one?
fish down there.
Yeah, there's life.
How does that happen?
In the dark with no oxygen, or I don't know how they. I don't.
The
get
pressure.
It. Yeah, the pressure alone. I mean, the first time I went scuba diving, man, I got to about 30 feet down. I thought I was going to die. My ears were killing me. Anyway, it's 14 feet deeper than the previous deep discovered wreck. Almost 23,000 feet down off the Philippines. Holy smokeroonies. All right, hold everything. Let's say you're looking for something nobody else has. You're shopping, looking for
something.
You got me again, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, well, how about going to M&S Title Pawn? This portion of the Kimmer Show podcast brought to you by our friends at M&S Title Pawn. I say it's slow and kind of funny because it's the name is M&S Title Pawn. If you say it together, it sounds like eminence and sounds like eminence. That's not a word, but when you spell it, it spells man's, and that's how you look it up. All right, let me start over. M&S Title Pawn in beautiful downtown Bremen, Georgia, on 306 Laurel Street, Suite A. They're open Monday through Saturday. Visit them in person if you like. Bremen, Georgia, M&S Title Pawn on Laurel Street. Or go to them on the web, and that address is manstitle.com, M-A-N-D-S title.com. See how that kind of fits in together? What are you doing over there? Are you messing with our people on the podcast? Manstitle.com. Or here's a phone number. They actually have a phone they love to answer. 678-821-3337. M&S Title Pawn in Bremen. Okay, we're good. Are we good over there?
Hold on a second.
What do you got?
We got some people commenting.
Uh-oh. What now?
And
What'd I do?
Smart asses, and they're doing a very good job.
Oh.
It made me laugh.
Okie dokie.
So here we go. Let me look at the rest of Okay, here we go. Hector says I should start an OnlyFans account, which would be frightening.
To do what you want to do that only people who pay will see. A little dancing in the nude.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay. Brilford Wimley.
Wilford. Oh, Brilford Wimley. Kind of a takeoff on Brilford. Yeah.
Calls her Monica Bluklinski.
Okay. Bluklinski.
Someone's laughing at Bluklinski. They're laughing about that. Hector has a joke for you. What sits at the bottom of the ocean and shakes?
What sits at the bottom of the ocean and shakes? I don't know.
A nervous wreck.
Oh, God. A nervous wreck, ladies and gentlemen. Don Knotts. Are you nervous? No, me. No.
Like Don Knotts.
Those were the days. Okay, hold everything. Happy Facts. Did you do that already?
Oh, no.
I don't know what that is. There's something about happy. You told me about Happy Facts, and I got some more newsy stuff that I really don't want to do right now. I'll do it
Guy
in a
who goes
minute.
on the internet and does trippy thoughts. Tomorrow is yesterday, 2 days from now.
All right, son.
Go to bed, you'll feel better in the morning is the human version of, did you turn it off and turn it back on again? Here's something that'll freak you out.
All right.
You can always see your nose. Your brain just decides to ignore it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You can at least see one side at a time.
Uh-huh.
Hadn't thought of that.
So there's your trippy thoughts.
There's your happy thoughts. Messing with the Dead. Did you already do that? Of a different title? Something about messing with the dead.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that means.
Caleb says, as a mortician, I always tie the shoelaces together of the dead people.
Oh, God.
Because if there ever is a zombie apocalypse, it's going to be hilarious.
With little zip ties. I wonder if she really does that, and if she works in a mortuary.
I'd do it. And the guy who writes for the New York Post, I forget his name. You talk about good writing. Here's what he said about Hollywood and the fact it's, Buzz Lightyear is woke and all that crap. Today's Hollywood message is, let us entertain you. But first, a brief lecture on what's wrong with you, the audience.
Exactly. That's the problem. It should stop with let us entertain. In fact, that was the slogan. Hollywood's slogan was let us entertain you. Remember that?
Yeah.
Wasn't that entertainment world? That's what it's called. Let us entertain you.
And so ESPN hasn't learned Malika Andrews, who does a great job, beautiful woman, does a great job on the NBA, was doing an NBA show and decided that, gosh darn it, America needs to know my views on abortion.
Oh, no. Well, good.
If I'm the producer, I'm going, shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Stop.
tuning in to hear your opinion on abortion. You want to do that on a news show? Go for it.
I don't know. Again,
They're
they're asking for it.
Well, good. Give it to them.
Yeah. Well, we will. They're definitely asking for it. No question about that. A quick update for you. Somebody asked, I think on the internet last week, about an update. Oh, we were talking about the police dog, Kai, the police dog, the K9 police dog that got shot a couple of times by a scumbag teenager. Hiding in what we call the wooded area. It's in the woods. And this was in Gwinnett County. Was a 17-year-old punk. He was high on something, pulled a gun on some people. They called the cops. He ran from the cops. They chased him in the woods. The K9 started after him, so the kid started shooting at the cops and shot the dog twice. They shot back, critically injured the 17-year-old. And the bottom line is that his lawyer tried to claim that it was the police that actually shot the dog by accident, that it wasn't the kid's fault. Hey, trust me, if you're shooting at police and anybody dies, it's your murder case. Whether you shot him or not. If you and I go in to rob a store and you shoot the clerk and I'm driving the getaway car, I'm charged with murder.
Good.
Shot the clerk.
Right. Let's say who shot the clerk. Thank you. Anyway, even so, it doesn't matter who shot the dog. Now he did. He clearly shot at the dog. Shot the dog. Anyway, the dog's going to be fine. The dog's doing great. They may even put him back on duty. But for the record, the kid is still alive. He didn't die for some reason. What's the matter?
You said duty.
What?
You said duty.
Oh, dude. Yeah. I'm sorry.
This is a duty-free zone.
By the way, speaking of my ear rockets, I noticed this. I tried this this morning. I tried this morning. When I'm getting ready, when I'm doing the podcast, I have two places I sit in my townhouse. One, I sit on the couch where I have my typewriter and where I type all my stuff that I type all morning long. When I'm getting ready and putting the stuff together, I'm in my big chair with my ottoman as my desk. And in front of me is Fox News on TV. To my left is a radio tuned on to news. On my right is the phone app for 106.3. So I have three things I'm listening to in three different directions. This morning, for the fun of it, I turned my ear rockets into the app that says specialize on the left side only.
That does sound like fun.
And it kind of worked.
Did it?
It didn't shut down everything else, but it definitely muted a little bit so that I was concentrating more on what was going on to my left. I thought,
was it as fun as you thought it would be?
No, it was not. No, but again, it was an amazing thing to me that since we were talking about it, and I'm trying to have fun with the fact that I hate, I mean, well, the sound's not like regular sound. The music's not as good, and so the rest of my life, I will never enjoy music the way I used to. So, screw me, and, I get what I deserve or something.
You can still hear.
I can hear. Again, I'm not, I'm saying it with a smile on my face. It just, that's what I got. These are my cards I got dealt, and so I'm playing them. So.
Kimmer complaining about his hearing again. Holy crap, it's real estate.
Oh, Joe Huggins.
Get real estate help with Joe Huggins with Keller Williams. He provides a cash offer that converts into a mortgage. You need cash offers to win in today's market. Work with a Kimmer fan, Joe Huggins. Find him online at joehugginsrealtor.com. Call him 770-599-5750. It's real estate. Joe Huggins with unreal service.
He will take care of your business. Quick update. Oh, this is a horrible story, so I won't spend a lot of time on it, but just to let you know it's not one world. Darlene Nicole Brister, 40 years old, in Paulding County, has been charged with malice murder. Apparently, she was at a home on Rockmart Drive, or a home in Rockmart on Woodwind Drive in West Paulding. Somebody called 911. She was stabbing 3 children to death inside and setting the house on fire. Actually, there were 7 children she was trying to murder, apparently. And at least 2 of them died. 2 are in the hospital with burns, a couple critical. And the neighbors say she never talked to anybody. We don't know much about her, but she's a 40-year-old woman who slaughtered children, stabbing, burning, and is somehow alive.
She was a loudmouth who never kept to herself.
I guess, apparently, just like they all are.
I guess retroactive abortion she was going for there.
And post-life abortion. And kudos to Canton police officers. Good for you guys. The other day in Canton, a police officer noticed the driver of a van holding a cell phone while driving. And it looked to be a young
I'll reenact it.
thing. You can reenact it on Facebook. So the police officer pulled over the van. It turns out that was a teenager driving the van, a 16-year-old driver, 16, no driver's license, and no ID. It was a Dodge Caravan. It was also stolen. Inside the stolen car, driven by a 16-year-old with no license and no ID,
We prefer borrowed.
officers found vaping material, marijuana, and a large amount of lingerie. Inside the van, along with the dope and the 90s, was a 13-year-old girl who was being transported from Georgia to another state as a sex trafficking kidnap victim at the age of 13, driven by a 16-year-old. The 16-year-old is arrested and charged with 16 years old, sex trafficking, kidnapping, false name, theft by receiving stolen property, unlawful use of a wireless device, drug possession, and more. The chief, Stephen Merrifield, said by taking a routine traffic stop and conducting an exceptional investigation, members of the Canton Police Department forever changed a young girl's life for the better, and the little girl has been reunited with her family.
What you were talking about last week. We need to know his record
Yep.
the rest of his life. I don't know hiding this because he's a juvenile. This isn't just, he kicked the puppy.
This is even worse.
Which is worse.
The 16-year-old driver is a girl.
Wow. Now you know the rest of the story.
That's
a
the
good
rest of it. Is that unbelievable?
one. Wow. In Canton.
I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Do they say say the nationality? I'm just saying this because of
I
demographic.
I'll bet you
doing this
Latino, I mean, or
you
black.
don't know
I
that.
mean,
You don't know that.
I don't know that.
But is it someone that they took from
I don't know.
close to the border? Or
I don't
what?
know. I don't know. I think our assumption is that, but it could be anybody. I mean,
Yeah,
we
it
don't
could.
know. It could be anybody. And again, I shouldn't have picked somebody out. I would just.
I mean, in the Middle East, they like the white blonde girl. So
Well, that's still get the big money. But again, is that unbelievable? In fact,
That
Canton
is.
police just holding a cell phone, 16-year-old girl driving a 13-year-old girl for sex trafficking.
which means she was probably in it too.
Absolutely. She helped run the ring. Which is, by the way, how they it's probably how they get them.
Yeah.
To send the 16-year-old girl into the bus stop or the bars area or the outside the housing development or
Trust
whatever
me.
they get them, and at the airport or hanging around the hookah lounge. I don't know. I mean, where you find 13-year-old girls at the mall?
The mall.
Yeah. I mean, wherever. Anyway, it makes me sick. My God, 13 and 16. All right. Okay.
But know that there are people out there, Democrats, that want to legalize stuff like that.
Oh, they believe in man-boy love. They believe that children have the right to enjoy sexual activity because it feels good as a child.
Speaking of, remember we talked last week about Ezra Miller, the Flash?
Yeah.
And we talked about he been in trouble with a couple of assaults in Hawaii.
Yeah.
That's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Even People magazine is outing him now. Guess what? First of all, he's trans. He's
Really?
transitioning into something.
Wow.
I don't know what the hell he's transitioning. So he's in Massachusetts with basically he's befriended a 13-year-old the child is trans.
Like they know a trans at 13.
He's at a party, they're playing a game. So you know what's going on. These are progressive parents that think it's cool that they've talked their kid into transitioning and that the kid has a Hollywood star who's transitioned and they're hanging out at our house. We're the coolest parents in the world right here. Ezra gets upset and pulls a gun and starts threatening everybody in the house, right? So he's
Jesus.
arrested for that. Turns out there's I think a 15-year-old transition teenager that's been traveling the country with him, and he's disappeared, by the way. He's traveling the country with, they
Jesus.
don't know where the kid's from or where it's at right now. The kid got on Instagram and said, Ezra's okay, it's okay, everything's fine, even though the kid is underage, and he's traveling the country with this kid, which obviously the parents probably said, isn't this
boy.
cool? Take the kid. We're cool now.
And by the way, who is this? I don't know anything about
He's
this.
the Flash. He was in the Batman. He was the Flash.
He's the character of.
And they got that movie
But
coming
see, is
out
that
next year. It's huge. It's going to be huge, and they built it all around him.
How
So they
could they
got to release it. He was also in
man.
these Grindelwald movies, the Harry Potter movie.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Emma, what's her face?
Stone.
Not Emma Stone. Emma, whatever, raised hell about J.K.
Emma Watson.
Emma Watson yelling about J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
Doesn't say a word about Ezra Miller.
Right. Yeah, shut up, your little
In there.
stinky little face.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's sickening.
You're an ugly kid, and you're an uglier adult.
Well, speaking of that, this goes right into that, Pete. Today's birthday list
Oh, really?
includes Draco Rosa. Do you have any idea who Draco Rosa is?
No.
Excuse me. Draco Rosa is 53 years old. He was one of the members of Menudo, the group that launched Ricky Martin. Draco Rosa wrote the song Living La Vida Loca for the Vida Loca, for Living the Vida Loca for Ricky Martin.
Does
Now,
Scooby-Doo write that song?
here's a little something more. The boy band had multiple members until 1997, disbanded in 2007. They rebuilt that. As adults, many of the former members of Menudo reported having been victims of sexual abuse and child exploitation at the directed by this guy named Diaz. The first to speak was a Puerto Rican actor, joined at 13, was there for 3 years. He said the producer had abused him and all his bandmates, all minors, on repeated occasions. He abused us sexually. I was 13. It happened several times. He threatened, saying if I didn't do it, he'd kick me out of the group. There was a party in a mansion in Puerto Rico when someone was already at home. He told me to go see Edgardo in his room. I never told my family. I was so ashamed. At the party, when I got to the room, I saw Ricky Martin dressed as a woman. I called Draco Rosa, 53-year-old birthday today, another member, who came and gave Eduardo a fist while I ran out of the street, and I lay on the road praying that a car would hit me. I mean, that's God.
And Ricky Martin won't say anything.
Right, he's not talking. Well, he was apparently
He's gay,
happy.
isn't he?
Yeah, apparently happy to be part of the gay entourage. I suppose it would be the way to look at it. A little weird. A couple other birthdays while we're going. Vera Wang. Sorry, no offense. Vera Wang, no offense. 73 today. Wow. Remember that little blonde hottie Julia Duffy from Newhart?
Yeah.
71 years old. I always had one of those. Khloe Kardashian, 38 years old today. Tobey Maguire, good actor. I like him. Not only Spider-Man, but also Seabiscuit, one of the best horse movie, much better than Secretariat, which was also excellent. Tobey Maguire is 47. J.J. Abrams, the director and creator, he's 56 years old. He did Lost and Alias, directed The Force Awakens, Mission Impossible 3, the new Star Trek movies. Yeah. Bruce Johnston, I had forgotten this guy's name. Bruce Johnston is 78. He was with the Beach Boys. He joined them in 1965 because he used to have to do all the live performances when Brian Wilson couldn't hack being on stage or traveling. Bruce Johnston also wrote Barry Manilow's hit, I Write the Songs. Speaking of music, Mick Jagger in 1967 was caught with drugs in his jacket at a Keith Richards party. Mick Jagger was remanded to the London jail, prisoner number 7856, for an overnight stay. He requested that his jailers supply him with books on Tibet and modern art and 2 packs of Benson & Hedges cigarettes. Benson & Hedges were the recessed filter.
Long ones, too.
Because they had the recessed filter. It was a filter cigarette, then with an extra recess part of it, there was just an empty cardboard tube on the end of the cigarette. My parents smoked those for years. Yeah. They were horrible. You had to suck your brains out trying to get the smoke through there. Well, that's why I always smoked Luckies. For
good training. By the way, the Stones just played Hyde Park in London. They played it in 1960,
probably.
Somewhere in that. They had a huge concert in 1969, right after Brian died. If you'd have told them in 1969 that 60 years from now you're going to be right back here playing
when you're in your
front
70s,
of this crowd, they would have said you were insane.
I'll bet they figured we'd last 2-3 years, get all the money and the girls, and then do something.
They'd be dead.
There's no way that they thought they'd be playing 50 or 60 years later. Let's see. 1987, Whitney Houston became the first woman in history to enter the album chart with a #1 album. Her first up thing, #1, was called Whitney. And when the song I Want to Dance with Somebody hit #1, she became the first woman ever to have 4 consecutive #1 hit singles off her album. 2002, The Who was going to start their U.S. tour, but bass player John Entwistle was at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas and decided to bring a stripper to bed with him, but only one of them woke up alive. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he had too much of her and the cocaine that caused his fatal heart attack. Night before.
What year was this?
2002.
Right, about a year before, me and my girlfriend at the time were in New York, and we stayed at, gosh, it was a Waldorf or something. And across the street was the blues club of either Bo Diddley or Muddy Waters or somebody. It was a blues club named after it. And John Entwistle and his band were playing, and I said, we should go over there, and we didn't. And I kicked myself afterwards.
And then he died.
I didn't get a chance to see him.
I'll be damned. Was he with a blues band?
He had his own band. Yeah, he was probably the greatest bass player in rock history.
Well, he was
the
man, but he couldn't, he couldn't lay off the stuff there. Let's see. 2012, the chief medical examiner of Russia blamed the Beatles for Russia's drug problems. The medical chief, Yevgeny Birun, said the Russian Utes got the idea to use drugs when the Beatles went to India to expand their minds. The Ruski said that made Russian Utes realize you can make money selling drugs. What? And then businesses realized you can make money off pleasure and debauchery, and the demand for drugs in Russia exploded because of the Beatles.
Because there was no pleasure and debauchery in Russia before that.
They were just drinking vodka before that, and they said, hey, you can do drugs too. And he said, ooh, that's cool. So off they went, apparently. Other historical note, I got a couple here. 1829, a British scientist named James Smithson died and left his entire fortune to the United States in order to establish the Smithsonian Institute. 1844, the Mormons were erupting over the issue of polygamy. So a mob of monogamous Morgans attacked a jail in Carthage, Illinois on this day in 1844 and murdered Mormon leaders Hiram and Joseph Smith. As a result, Brigham Young became head of the Mormons.
He was only like 39 when they killed him.
Yeah.
They chased him out of Nauvoo, Illinois. They chased him out of New England. They chased him out basically.
1840s. I mean, my God, that was a troubling time.
And you said it was a mob of monogamous Morgans.
Monogamous Mormons. If there's such a... I said Morgans? Sorry about that. In 1979, boxing history, Muhammad Ali retired as champion, saying his retirement would be his last, and it was.
Oh, no, I thought it wasn't. I thought he lied about that.
79, I think that was, they said that was the last one in my history.
Flounder, did you have something you were going to add earlier?
Kind of some somewhat breaking news. Pilots at Delta Airlines plan to picket at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport and other major airports around the country this Thursday as they call out the carrier for mass flight cancellations and push for new labor contracts.
All over the news today, thousands of flights are canceled and delayed and changed.
People are booking flights months in advance and they're being canceled the day of the flight, and there's nothing they can do about it.
And of course, the airlines are blaming air traffic control and the weather and whatever.
Bullshit.
Again, do your job.
Collapsing.
Do your job.
Collapsing.
And we knew that this was going to happen after the so-called end of the pandemic. I mean, I thought we were getting back to normal.
Right.
And by the way, didn't the airlines get something like $50 billion to bail them out so they wouldn't have to fire the steward eye?
They're not hiring people back, or maybe they can't find anyone to work. And they have pilot shortages.
Well, there are like thousands of pilot shortages. Thousands.
In fact, The Onion said that they're so desperate, they're just hiring people who look good and crisp in uniforms. They can't fly. They just look good.
Babylon Bee had a funny headline the other day when in Arizona, the Democrats had to cancel their hearing on the insurrection in order to stage an insurrection in Arizona. That's the thing. A couple others. That was 1979 with Ali. Same day, 1988, Mike Tyson dropped undefeated Michael Spinks in 91 seconds to defend his heavyweight title. That night, the national anthem took 93 seconds to sing, 2 seconds longer than the boxing match. And in 1994, Anna Nicole Smith, a stripper in Houston, married a billionaire named J. Howard Marshall. They had met 3 years earlier at a topless bar. They were married for 14 months until he died smiling.
She was a good-looking woman.
She was pretty. She was huge, but she was pretty. And I remember her in Police Squad or whatever it was with Leslie Nielsen.
In fact, somebody said the Angels Mariners brawl was the biggest since Lieutenant Frank Drebin assaulted the Queen.
I love it. 1940, Germany started using its famous Enigma coding machine to send messages freely, but an English team of whiz mathematicians eventually broke the Enigma code by the time Germany reached Poland and got their entire future American Democrat messages without them knowing it.
Alan Turing. That was a great movie, by the way. Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, that's right. I was on several times not long ago. 1986, the United Nations found America guilty of helping the Contra rebels in Nicaragua, giving them money, weapons, and training. 1893, the New York.
Good for us.
Yeah,
Good for us.
There you go. Help out the little people. The New York stock market crashed, and by the end of the year in 1893, 600 banks and 74 railroads had gone out of business. Wow. 1918, for the first time, 2 German pilots were saved by their parachutes. 1918.
Who was the first ballsy person to jump out?
Tried it? Yeah. Can you imagine? I assume they tried.
This will work.
I assume they tried it from a tower that wasn't that.
And they dropped weight.
I assume that they tested something. But can you imagine
a cow
still being the first one? You know,
Steve, you're up. Let's go.
It's got to take some balls.
Hey, Reinhardt.
Yeah. 1927, the Marine Corps adopted the bulldog as the official mascot. Okay. 1931, Igor Sikorsky got his patent number 1,994,488 from Mr. Sikorsky, which marked a breakthrough for the wearing blender. No, of course, the helicopter, of course. Silly. 1942, the FBI captured 8 Nazi saboteurs who had been put ashore by Nazi submarines off Long Island. That was back before the FBI became a political arm of the Democrat Party.
And they also dropped them off Jacksonville.
And Jacksonville, Florida. Yeah. 1964, Ernest Borgnine, I think Seattle, wasn't there something off Portland or Seattle somewhere
too?
That would have been
Japanese, maybe.
I think Japanese
maybe the
submarines.
Floating balloons that exploded.
It might have been balloon. I think they sent bomb balloons over the West
They launched
Coast.
them in Japan, and they actually killed a woman.
Yeah.
In
exploding
Washington State or somewhere.
Balloon bombs. 1964.
Oh, look, a cute balloon.
1964, Ernest Borgnine and Ethel Merman were married. There's no business like... Yeah, it lasted 38 days.
Yeah. They're the same person, you know.
They could be the same person.
Never saw them in the same room.
1969, they call it the birth of the gay rights movement when police and gay patrons of the Stonewall Inn in Greenwich, Connecticut battled it out.
No. Greenwich Village.
What'd I say?
Greenwich,
Greenwich. I said, no, Greenwich Village. I even wrote Greenwich Village. Oh, my God. I'm losing it.
Greenwich, Connecticut.
Greenwich, Connecticut. You
big gay community there in Greenwich, Connecticut.
Dipstick. And very disappointing, 1985, Route 66 was officially removed from the U.S. highway system. I never got a chance to drive it.
Oh, it's still there? There's Route 66.
Parts of it. Parts of it disappeared. You can go from outside of Chicago
to
almost all the way, and you'll see some, you have to go through some deserted, broken pavement road areas, but you can kind of do it.
Kind of like I did through the Mississippi Delta a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, kind of like that.
These are not roads.
No, kind of like that. Anyway, I don't know. What else is going on here, boy?
Oh, wait a minute. Go.
Oh, before you stop, I want to remind you, if you're looking for a different ride, Kimmer sponsor, Swap My Whip. WHIP is a whip as your ride. What are you looking for? Swap My Whip. If you want to trade your car, go to swapmywhip.com and you'll find like-minded car owners. Maybe you don't want to deal with dealerships and used car salesmen and middlemen and all that kind of stuff. At swapmywhip.com, you can get a better deal, avoiding the middleman entirely. Trade your car, your boat, your jet ski. You get the picture, stuff like that. swapmywhip.com, and check it. It's worth checking out. It doesn't cost you anything to go check it out. If you use the coupon code Kimmer, Kimmer, you'll get 180 days of free premium listings on swapmywhip.com. What a great idea.
Okay, speaking of numbers,
That's what I thought.
Speaking of numbers, this will blow your mind. This is something that they say, why didn't your teachers tell you this in Algebra 2 or whenever?
Yeah.
Because they didn't know.
Ah. Yeah.
Here's an obvious fact that will make all of us feel stupid. According to Professor Barclay,
Yeah.
percentages are reversible. Did you know that?
What do you mean?
8% of 20. What's 8% of 25?
5. Oh,
That-
8% of 25. 8 and 4 goes
Yeah,
30, 33.
So you have to sit and think about it. Most people
32,
can't.
33%.
Well, that's the same as 25% of 8, which is pretty easy.
2.
2.
No, wait a minute now.
It's the
25% of the number 8 is
8% of
2.
25 is the same as 25% of 8, and one of them is much easier to do in your head.
Oh
but
my
they don't-
God, that's right. 8% is less than 10%. 10% of 25 is 2.5. 8% would be about 2. Would be exactly 2. Oh my God,
I know they don't teach you that.
that's the first I've ever heard it.
Did you know that?
I mean, although I'm not sure.
And I hate percentages.
Well,
So
but
do I. Repeat that.
Well, the other, I mean, it's kind of a
Dance monkey boy.
It's a party game or a bar challenge, but I mean, there's no use to it. It doesn't mean anything.
Oh, it would have been used in a math class where you could just flip it around and do it easier in your head. You don't have to sit there and do, Basically, 8% of 25. That's hard to figure out.
Okay,
But 25% of 8.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah.
2,
Well,
4,
on the other
6,
hand,
8.
however, if you wanted to take 15% of 420, then obviously it's only good for things that you can do fairly, two-figure, like digits under 100 or something.
Here's math you can figure out easily. Last year, the White House fired off a tone-deaf tweet bragging how Americans were saving 16 cents on
Yeah.
their Independence Day barbecue.
Yeah.
Guess how much it costs this year?
Oh boy, what?
17% jump. It's $10 more this year. You think there's going to be a smart-ass tweet from the White
Yeah.
House about that?
Remember Thanksgiving? You said, "Well, it's only going to cost 29 cents more," or whatever it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also would be the most expensive Thanksgiving in history.
All right, it's time for Bad Text Theater.
Bad texting, ladies and gentlemen.
Which one are we going to do today, Flounder? I sent you
You
several.
sent me several. We should probably do the first one you sent.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Yeah, let's do that first.
Especially.
It's topical.
Yeah, very.
All right, sir.
All right, are you the old timer or are you the son of the old timer?
I'll be the old timer.
All right, don't screw this up.
My new hearing aid is state of the art.
Really? What type is it?
It's 230.
Thank you very much. About 4:45. All right, boys. Have a great day and.
Who knew there were so many hearing aid jokes on the internet?
And oorah and semper fi. I gotta go. You're killing me. Look out! Have a herp.